What it do, y'all? It's your girl Makeup and Travel, and for today's video I was going through some of my videos and I was also just watching videos of other people, and I realized that I completely forgot to update you guys completely on my foundation project pan that I reinvigorated in 2020. Obviously there were things that happened in 2020 and it didn't happen. But funny enough, not one of those foundations is still in my collection. I've either finished them or I decluttered them or I gave them away. So what I thought, because I find that I tend to get good use out of a lot of my powder products, but I tend to let cream products go by the wayside, is I'm kind of just going to be doing a project pan where I really focus in on some cream products in my collection. Now some of these may be in my legit team project pan project that I do updates every month, but for these I'm gonna just do quarterly updates. So every 3 months. I am starting this really weird time. I'm starting this in April, so it's gonna be weird. I think what I'm gonna do to just work to make it work is that I'm gonna give you guys another update in 2 months, and then after that every 3 months. But I'm really in a project pan mood, and I thought this would be a good thing for me to do to keep myself accountable on all of these products that I may sometimes just not necessarily really actively use. So in case you are interested, let's get to it. Alrighty, so I think what I want to do is kind of go based on the way that I apply the product, and we'll go from there. So the one product that is actually currently in my project pan is my Denessa Myrick's Prime FX Hydrating Lotion. Now for this product, I have very little product left at all. I am down to this point and I'm pretty confident that I'm actually going to finish this month. We're not even halfway through the month, and I think I'm doing really good at one, actually actively using product, but also even using this product on days that I'm not actually actively wearing foundation or makeup in general has actually been helping. And I think it's actually been maybe helping with my skin. I'm still debating on that. The other primer that I'm really going to be focusing in on fully is going to be my Auric Glow Lust. When I did my review for this product, I said that this is going to be something that I like to use as a primer and as something to mix in with the foundation. And that's exactly how I'm going to use this product. I don't want this to sit around in my collection. This is quite a bit of product, and so if I allow that to happen, it will definitely go bad. So I'm really trying to actively get through some of these cream and liquid products that I have either been letting sit around or they're really new, and I don't want to do that. So those are my primers. Then I have some foundations, and for these I tried to be strategic. I have one that is actually currently in my project and one that I think will be very helpful in the upcoming months because we're coming into summer. So my project pan foundation is my Dior Backstage foundation. This is in 6N. I don't think it's going to take me much longer to actually get through this foundation. Last time I waited for my project pan, I was somewhere around 1.5 ounces. This product has 1.5 fluid ounces to the get-go, so I think I may be lower than an ounce, maybe even lower than half an ounce of product left in this packaging. So I'm very happy about that. But this foundation is only going to work for me between fall and winter. Once we hit summer and spring, I just get a little bit too much of a tan, especially right now when I'm going outside working out more consistently. That foundation just is not going to stick with me for a long period of time. So keeping that in mind, I put in this project the e.l.f. foundation. This is just their normal flawless finish foundation in the shade Espresso. This is too deep for me, so I'm going to be using this very similarly to how I have done in the past with the Fenty Pro Longwear foundation, where I had it in a really deep shade. This is going to be a mixer for me, so I'm just going to be mixing this into whatever foundation is closest to my foundation or my shade at that moment. But I'm probably most likely not going to get a huge dent into this. I'm probably going to have to take at least 2 summers to get through this, just because I never get this deep to the extent that I can just use that as a foundation, period. I generally have to mix it with something else. And because I think I may get through the Dior before the end of the summer, I am just going to throw in this Tarte foundation concealer sample. It's been sitting around for I don't even know how long. It's time for it to go. So I will be mixing these 3 foundations, and this is pretty much a very similar shade to this one. And if you're wondering, there's no shade. I can't tell you what shade this is. There's no shade on the label. But I will be mixing those foundations now until the end of the summer or whatever have you, just to get a perfect shade match for me. Concealers. So concealer, I am very oddball out when it comes to YouTubers. A lot of YouTubers are very obsessed with concealers. They have quite the collection. I have 3 in my collection, period, including Project Pan, etc., etc. So they're all just going to be in this project, and hopefully I can just get use out of all of them during various times. So the one that I'm currently actively really trying to finish up is my Urban Decay Naked Skin in Deep Warm, Dark Warm, something like that. This is no longer on the market, which is why I'm trying to finish it up. This was my holy grail. I loved this concealer. It was a really nice satin finish. It gave me nice coverage. I don't need a lot of coverage, but what I got I really enjoyed. But because it was no longer on the market, I wanted to finish her up. So that is the concealer that I'm currently actively focusing on. The next concealer, actually right now in this time period, I'm actually using as a cream bronzer, and this is the Juvia's Place concealer in 6. It is too deep for me to actually use it as a concealing shade, and it's definitely too deep for me to use it as like a like perfecting my base or anything like that. So I use this as a cream bronzer. I actually really enjoy it as a cream bronzer. I think it blends into my foundation beautifully, but it's a concealer, and I think the best way for me to get the most use out of it would be as a concealer. So during the legit summer, I think I will be able to use this as a concealer, and or on days where I just can't be bothered to mix. This is actually lighter than the e.l.f. foundation, so I may just actually use this as a foundation too. So this is going to be something that I really get hopefully some good use out of in the upcoming months. And then the last concealer I have in my collection is actually too light, which is why I think I've used it once and I was like, this is too light. No. But this is the Better Skin Maybelline Superstay concealer in the shade medium deep. It's too light. So I think I'm gonna shop around. I think there are some techniques where people actually use light concealers like this under foundation, and it just works. So I think I might try and do that, because otherwise I generally don't know when I'm gonna get use out of it, because even at my skin tone now, it is just it's too light. It's too light. And then the last product that I'm like really interested in right now getting a decent amount of use out of is actually a very new product for me, and it is my Denessa Myrick's Color Fix. It's the matte finish, and it's in Rust. I have been loving this, loving it so much. It is on my face today as blush, of course, and I just really have been enjoying this product, and I want to continue to get my use out of it, because I, like so many people, have really been on this cream blush trend, and I don't want all these cream brushes to expire. So I'm really hopeful that I will get a decent amount of use out of this, and I'm very excited to see how much use I get out of it. And just because I actually have it right here, we're gonna throw one last product into this project pan. It is actually another very, very recent purchase, and it is the Melt Cosmetics Cream Blush Light in Golden Hour. This is going to be a cream highlighter for me. I cannot use it as a cream blush. It's too light, but it really does a beautiful job as a cream highlighter. And because I have a feeling I'm gonna just put it in my cream drawer and let it sit there, we're gonna throw it in this project, and I hope that I get some good use out of it. So as you can see, I really brought quite a few things from my Team Project Pan project, but I also brought some new things that otherwise would just be sitting there waiting for me. So I'm hoping that by putting these in a separate project, one, I don't get as tired, because I'm starting to get a little tired of the products in my Team Project Pan project, but I also am hoping that I can just get more use out of my collection in general. Right now, I just do not have the money, and I really should not be spending the money that I have towards makeup. So I'm hoping that by adding a little something new, I won't feel the urge to pick up some actual new products. So I hope this is also a reminder to you guys to do the same thing. I would love to hear if you guys are doing it. Sound off down below, and I will see you guys in my next video. Bye guys.